The question is, do you need a selling system? I'm going to say you do. If you're in any type of a sales role, you absolutely need a selling system. And who's in a sales role? Well, outside salespeople, inside salespeople, professional coaches like myself, network marketers, financial advisors, anybody that is in a position where they need to have a selling conversation with a decision maker needs a selling system. Why do you need a selling system? Well, let me explain. When we are hanging out with our friends and family, a lot of the time we'll tell them if we went to see a good movie and we've really enjoyed it, or we went out and had a great meal, we loved the food, we tell our friends and family all about it. Come on, think about the last time you went and saw a good movie. Like the latest Mission Impossible. Okay, albeit Tom Cruise, he's a little overdone. He's been doing this for a long time, but just go with me for a second. The latest Tom Cruise movie, fantastic action and adventure, super exciting. You're hanging out with your buddies over a beer and you're telling them, man, I just saw the latest Mission Impossible. You guys have got to see it. It was incredible. The action in the movie was awesome. The entire storyline, the character development, it was just a really good movie. You guys love action movies. You've got to go see it. And odds are your friends will go see the movie because of how you shared with them what you thought of it. Or the last time you went out to eat at a really nice restaurant and you had a delicious meal. You're going to tell your friends about it. You're going to tell your family members about it. You'll tell your coworkers about it. We love to share with people and let people know what we're doing and what's out there and what our experiences have been. And when you share with somebody about that great meal you had, you're probably going to tell them, oh my gosh, my food was so good. It was seasoned so well. And the service, oh, don't get me started. The service was amazing. I had barely touched my beverage and there was my server refilling it. So not only was the food amazing, but the server was on top of us the whole time. It was just overall, it was a fantastic experience. And what are we doing? When we're having these types of conversations with friends, family, coworkers, etc., we are sharing with them the features and the benefits of our experience. We're sharing with them the features and the benefits of our experience. If you've never been trained on a selling system, and you are in a sales role, you are in a role where you have to get in front of a decision maker to get them to buy your product or service, odds are you are just defaulting to and you're just going with what you've always done. You are going to sit down across from that decision maker and you are going to share with them the features and benefits of your product or service. Nay, I say nay, that is not the way to go. The reason that that's not the way to go is because that's what we have been doing forever. Features and benefits selling, we've been doing it forever. And then along comes traditional selling systems. And what traditional selling systems have done is they have taught us how to create a deck or a whiteboard presentation, and we throw that thing up on the projector, and we show our PowerPoint presentation or our slide deck, our whiteboard presentation, we write it up with dry erase, all the features and benefits of our product or service. And we blast our prospects with our features and benefits of our product or service. And then what traditional selling has taught us to do is speak to their objections, to their stalls and objections. What traditional selling does is they teach you how to overcome objections. So it's still the idea of, here's my presentation, here's my deck, here's my features and benefits of my product or service, and this is how it's going to blow your mind, and it's so amazing. And then when the prospect says, oh, I just don't have enough money. Oh, that's okay, Mr. Prospect. I've been trained on how to overcome the money objection. Or, oh, we're just happy with who we are. Oh, that's a good one, Mr. Prospect, but I know how to overcome that one too. And then they've developed even more advanced techniques on how to overcome objections. And it just gets sneakier and sneakier and even more manipulative. And it's not buyer focused. It's all about the salesperson pushing features and benefits on somebody, overcoming their stalls and objections, and hopefully at the end, a roll of the dice and they'll get that close. because a lot of the time the prospect just wants you to go away. So they buy so you'll just go away. So what's happened? We've gone from just this inside desire to share with friends and family our experiences. And then we realized that's not enough. So we evolved to traditional selling systems, which taught us how to share our features and benefits in front of buyers and prospects in a bigger way with our big presentations. And then we've evolved even further to learn how to overcome stalls and objections. But here's the challenge. You and I, people on the planet, they already know this stuff. They know features and benefit selling a lot of the time better than the salespeople even do. And so what happens is, as soon as a prospect feels like you're trying to sell them, they put these walls up to protect themselves from being sold by a traditional salesperson, because we love to buy, but we hate to be sold. We love to buy, but we hate to be sold. So I'm going to say that you do need a selling system. If you are in any kind of a position where you have to meet with a decision maker to sell your product or service, you do need a selling system. But traditional selling systems are done and overdone and redone. And a lot of the newer systems on the market today are just a rehash of traditional selling systems. Now, there are some selling systems that are becoming even more evolved. Now, just imagine if you were able to learn a system for selling that put the buyer first. So there is no deck. There is no big presentation. It's not about you having to memorize some script or memorize your features and benefits of your product or service and just come in and just overwhelm them with how excited you are about how this product's going to change their lives. But instead, you sit down with your buyer and you have a conversation with them and you find out what it is that they need. And if they don't have a need for your product or service, if you can identify that there's nothing there through having a conversation with them, then you're done. You tell them no. Could you imagine sitting across from a salesperson? You're the prospect. And this person comes in and they sit down and they meet with you, and they don't just bust out their presentation on their tablet or on their laptop and just start taking you through their presentation that they have memorized. But instead, they sit down with you and they start to have a conversation with you to find out, what are you doing right now? How's it working for you? What are your challenges? Maybe I'll share a little bit with you about what it is that we do at ABC Company. And you know what? If we can't help you, I'll let you know. Wouldn't that be great to be able to meet with a salesperson that's not all about me, but instead they're focused on you? That's what the modern selling system is for. The modern selling system is all about sitting down with your prospective client to identify whether or not there's a need for your product or service. And if there is no need, there is no client. You're done. You tell them no, you walk away. If there is a need, you continue to have a deeper conversation and you talk about money to see if there's a budget, and you continue the conversation, and at the end, you have a new client. But there's no features and benefits selling. It's not about just hammering them with how smart you all are and all your knowledge and your information and all this, that, and the other thing. So I would say yes, absolutely. If you are in a position where you have to meet with a decision maker or decision makers to sell your product or service, you absolutely, positively must have a selling system, because what you just learned naturally to just tell everybody about all the features and benefits of your experiences doesn't work. If we feel like you're trying to sell us, you're done. You're done. You need a modern selling system. You need a modern selling system where you can sit down and have a conversation with a prospective client, a clear, transparent conversation where you're not trying to duck and jive, you're not trying to manipulate them, but you're having a good, clear conversation and you're wanting to be there to serve them. And if there's a fit, you've got a brand new client. And when you're coming across this way, you're not chasing, you're not getting ghosted, you're very clear, and you're able to get in front of more people that want your product or service, and you're able to close more prospective clients. That is smart systematic selling. That is S3, smart systematic selling, which Elite Coaching offers as a modern sales training for the modern sales person. If you'd like more information, check out our website, check out the information that we have there, and feel free to reach out and ask us some questions. But in conclusion, I would say, if you're meeting with decision makers in order to sell your product or service, no matter the industry that you're in, you absolutely have to have a selling system. If it's not smart systematic selling, it's got to be something else. But look for a modern selling system that is conversational and puts the buyer first.